Call this beat Will Smith, cause it slaps hard. Hear it not when I pull up on your boulevard.
So we're gonna answer a question from a guy that wants to know what he should do after finding out that a woman he went on a date with actually was not all that excited to go on a date with him prior to going on the date. And how he found this out was by way of TikTok. So let's read the message. He says, I have known this woman, who's 28, for a while since we are in the same friends group. She's a nice person, attractive, and honestly, I've always enjoyed my talks with her. A few weeks ago, I, 26, asked her out on a date. I figured if she says no, it's fine, but she actually agreed. We went on a date this past Saturday, and honestly, I thought it was awesome. We went out to dinner, had drinks, spent the rest of the night talking, and we even took a walk on a walking bridge over the town's lake. It's not a big one. I dropped her off and was elated. I absolutely loved the night. Well, first off, I want to say to this guy, kudos for being able to ask out a person that was in your friends group, because as we all know, guys, that can be one of the hardest moves to make, because there's always that risk that if it doesn't work out well, it now shakes up the friends group. There's gonna be awkwardness, or she's gonna go back to the friends group and tell them all about how bad of a date you were, or other personal things that happened on the date that you don't wanna know. But still, putting yourself out there like that, fantastic. And then she agreed to it. Hey, I get it. I've had the situation of asking a woman friend out that when she was answering me, definitely was not all excited to go, but I still persevered and pushed through and went on that date, you know? So good job on you for so far for this, right? So then he says, however, that night when I was scrolling through TikTok on my bed, a post from her, and he clarifies, I didn't follow her, nor did I know she had a TikTok, all right? Sometimes when you're in the same vicinity as a person, your phones will be like, oh, they know this person, so now we're gonna show them their stuff. So that's how that kind of stuff happens. Blame AI and blame the government trying to spy on us. But anyway, he says, a post from her TikTok appeared on my For You page. Essentially, she said in the post, quote, getting ready for a date I really don't want to go on. That was like a bucket of ice water being thrown on my head. I was so freaking happy, and I just found out she didn't even want to go on a date with me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she has to want it, but please, let me know if that's the case. We don't need to go out. We can forget I even asked her out. But doing this on the internet, it made me self-conscious, not sure if that's the right word. Now I'm unsure about what to do. Should I tell her I saw this or just forget about it? Honestly, it really hurt me, and I'm not really sure I want to give this another try. I mean, she didn't want to go out with me in the first place, right? So I kind of need to respond to this in two ways, because there's two different things going on here. One that's not so bad, and one that is detrimental for the future of a relationship. So I'm gonna actually respond to the second one first, which is this, is that she was on TikTok and she was preemptively talking about a date she was going on. So this is a woman that has no problem putting her business out into the world virtually through social media, through TikToks or whatever, for the world at large to hear about. And for me, I find that dating that kind of woman, there can be pros and cons, but a big con of that is that, let's say things are going absolutely great. She's gonna be online, heaping your praises, making videos and posts about, oh, my man today did this and that, and he surprised me with this thing. He took me on this kind of date. Things are just going so great. Oh my gosh, I absolutely adore him. But when things start to go bad, or you guys get into an argument or tiff, she's gonna be the same kind of woman that's now going to the internet. Oh, hey, internet, what do you think about this? My boyfriend said that X, Y, and Z, and I don't agree because X, Y, and Z. What do you guys think? Or, oh, my BF got me this lame present, or, oh, he said this weird thing to me today, and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm stressing this because before you even go out with her, she's already putting out into the world, letting you know that how things are gonna go with you guys is when things are happening, good or bad, she's gonna post about it. Now, some guys can handle that. If you're a guy that is understanding that in today's world, social media exists, and that some women you date are gonna wanna put all their business out there, and you're fine with that, then hey, no harm, no foul, go ahead and pursue that. But if you're not the kind of guy, if you're the kind of guy that wants to handle things in person and doesn't want your girl putting all of your guys' business out there, then you wanna figure out if she's doing this kind of stuff early on, because it's going to let you know what she's about and you can proceed accordingly to not date her. At best, you could have a conversation with her and say, hey, so like, if you're already in the throes of dating her and then you're figuring this out. Some guys, you don't know beforehand. You find out afterwards that once you guys start dating that she has all this stuff. You can say, hey, so, in terms of us dating, I'm not really cool with like the part of you putting stuff out there that involves me. So out of respect, I would appreciate if you wouldn't do that. You can post up anything about you and what you're doing in your life outside of what we're doing, but I'd appreciate that. And some women that have high interest and really want to, do what's best for you are going to be like, okay, I totally understand that. That's totally fine. Women that are like, well, I should be able to put up what I want. You're just trying to control me. Now you know what she's about. And if that's not what you're about, you can head for the hills. All right. So in terms of that side of things, I totally get it. Now, in terms of her actual feeling about her saying that she was going on a date that she didn't really want to go on, let's say she didn't put that part public. Let's say you found out like 3 weeks into dating her from one of her best friends, then they came up to you and they were like, hey, so just so you know, like when you guys first started dating, oh my God, we had to like convince her so freaking hard to go on this date with you because she really didn't want to go. It's more or less the same thing, right? So in that situation, what do? Here's the awful truth, guys, is that not every woman that at some point in time agrees to date you or even becomes your girlfriend or becomes your wife was all that excited. A short story of that is like Michelle and Barack Obama have told this story tons of times about how when Barack was initially trying to hit on Michelle, like she didn't want to date him. She was like, I'm not feeling him, please. He had to ask her like 7 times before they finally agreed to go out. And that is a story that happens quite often where women will say, well, we were friends for a while and he kind of wanted to date me, but I was just like, oh my God, no, not him. Women will tell whole stories about, I thought he was disgusting. He was shorter than me. I thought he was just the worst thing ever. He had these lame jokes, blah, 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 blah. But then I finally relented and I said, I'll give him a shot. And next thing I know, oh my God, he was the perfect guy. This is such a common story that you cannot be completely mad at women when you hear that a woman that you had the hots for and wanted to go on a date with because you were all gung-ho didn't want to see you. We typically make decisions about women like this. She looks hot, great curves, smells good, want to hook up with her. Yes, I'll consider giving her a date. Even women that are just kind of like middling, like 6s or lower, it's like, well, she's kind of cute and she seems very bubbly and she's all about me, so fine. That happens quite often too, right? But women are coming to you and looking at, okay, I know your shell, you look okay, decent, but I don't actually know you. Like, yeah, we're in a similar friends group, but I don't know the kind of jokes you're gonna tell. I don't know what kind of food you're into. And honestly, I'm a little bit older now. I'm in my late 20s. I have other things I'm trying to focus on. So taking time out of my day is gonna be meaning I have to sacrifice time to see you. And if it goes bad, I've now wasted hours that I could have done something else. So no, sorry. I'm anticipating that this could be a good date, but it could also go bad like the previous 6 dates I went on. And so no, I'm not gonna be excited until you get her on the date, you start making her laugh, you start having a good time with her, you start talking about her and about your future and about things that you're into. She starts realizing, oh wait, we actually have chemistry. Oh wait, we actually like these similar things here. Oh my God, this guy's been to this place and I've been to this place and we have similar hobbies. And oh my gosh, I didn't know this stuff. So you're getting mad at a woman who has a lot of unknowns about you that she has yet to figure out. And because she doesn't know those things, she doesn't have any kind of feeling associated with you in terms of something that's building. Now, the great thing is that post-date, she now has a little bit more of an intimate picture of who you are. She spent intimate time with you, not like sex stuff, but in terms of like just spending one-on-one time with you. Because in a group friend setting, she's not getting to know you enough one-on-one to really figure out if she'd actually want to like date you long-term. So when you first ask her out, she's partially basing how she feels about you based on the group dynamic. And if the group dynamic up to that point hasn't made her believe you guys will be a match, then yeah, she might not be all that excited. But again, once you get her one-on-one, you give her the best possible first date show you possibly can, and then you take her, you have a good night, you hug her, you whatever. Now she has data to go on about, okay, I've hung out with him in friend setting, but now I got to hang out with him one-on-one. How was he sounding? How was he smelling? How was he looking? How was he talking to me? How was he making me feel? And now that I have tangible data on what being with him in a solo setting feels like, do I want to proceed further? And that's going to give women a better judgment of that. So all that to say, I don't like the fact that she put it on social media, but in terms of her not being all that excited about the date, that's just hitting at your ego, guy. Like, we want to think every woman that goes out with us said a heck yes because she just absolutely already likes us. And quite often, that's not going to be the case. Women kind of go with dating like this. It's like, okay, he asked me out. I'm going to just see where this goes. And at the end of that date, I'll see where my feelings are at. Hey, it's no harm, no foul. It's just sitting down with a guy I already kind of know for a meal. So it's not the worst thing in the world. At least I kind of know him. But no, I'm not excited until I see what kind of time I have with him, all right? If you go at it about that way, then you're gonna be less apprehensive and less worried if you hear that she wasn't all that excited in the beginning. Just because we're excited in the beginning doesn't mean that all the women we come across are gonna be that way. And that is completely fine. Just make sure you know what you're doing on these dates to make sure that by the end of the date, they have a higher interest. If you need help with that, go to introvertdatingsuccess.com and I'll be happy to help you out.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high